Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to another live stream. Wow, Monday Mind Down. Welcome back, Monday Mind Down. Let me lower the volume here for this thing. Just completely destroy your eardrums. But yeah. Hey, we're back. Cool, right? And guess what? We're on 1.21.4. The server's not on 1.21.4. EchoCraft is not yet in that realm. But we now have a new test server that I've made off my old PC that has 6 gigs of RAM, just like the actual server does. So it's a good testing ground for that kind of stuff. And we're gonna go check it out, you know? Hopefully I can still see it. There we go. So this is my local IP. This is my public IP. And now I can actually join this one. This one just doesn't get the information fast, right? So yeah, we can go in here. There we go. And so I'm joining via public IP instead. And you can see here, let's actually game rule keep inventory true here. So this is the test world. And what we have, you can see, right? We have, what is it called? We're running this vanilla, but we have it on a Fabric server. So we are running all the Fabric stuff. All I had to do was port forward all that stuff. And as you can see, 1.21.4, this world can be updated and can be run quite nicely. Let's look at the data packs. All of them have been updated for this version, except for the wandering trades that are specific to EchoCraft itself. Because I haven't had the time to look into it. And yo, look at this, right? If we set the time to night, we'll see some creaking pop out probably. Hopefully. Oh, there we go. We see it creaking. And as you can see, I'm looking at it. It's still moving because I am not in survival. But when I switch straight to survival, right, he'll stop. And we can look at where his creaking heart is. It's over there. Okay. He's really goofy for real, in my opinion. But, like, he doesn't really do that much damage, right? And once we take it out, he's gone. He crumbles, right? So, time, set day. We'll go back into creative. And what I will do now is we're just going to kill ourselves, right? And look how fast the world loads. So this world is actually simulation distance 10 and view distance 16, right? If I teleport to a place far away, it feels kind of the same compared to another version of Minecraft, right? Like you can see all this. What is my videos? Render distance, simulation distance, yeah. That's how it is right now, right? So it's able to load at the speed at which I am flying, right? At which I'm able to see. So that's great. Considering that I'm using a... Okay, considering that this server is actually pretty heavy with a lot of builds. And this is on a different save. This is on a different backup. An older backup. Unfortunately, okay, here's the thing. If you want to use this thing, if you want to use Crafty or something, the thing that's bad about this is that the Crafty, what Crafty does is it can't unzip files. So I have to do it through casaos instead. I had to do a whole unzipping there. So that's the slow part. Unzipping is a slow part. But as you can see, right, the server is running pretty smoothly here. I don't have anyone else to test it with right now. but all the EchoCraft members are whitelisted, so we have that going for us, right? But it is running pretty fine, I think, for a little test server. And since it's using my old PC, I have 16 gigs of RAM tied to it, which means we can use another 6 for if we want to bring back the Snapshot Survival Worlds. So, it's the Snapshot Survival server, I mean. And I can actually make a server here right now if I wanted to. Although I'd have to change the port forwarding rules to allow more ports, because I only did it for this port. 25565, right? The original Minecraft port forwarding port, right? So I have to change it to allow more than that. But as you can see, there's really no problem here, except for if I go into spectator mode and I start flying real fast. But I don't know what I did. I think I just dropped a lot of stuff. We could probably cripple the world here a little bit, especially if we were flying into new chunks. But oh, I had no idea this thing was here. What the heck? Who the heck made it? Holy mother of cactus farms! Why do you need this much green dye? What is this? What the heck is this? We also have slime farm. Looks to be a slime farm, maybe. Very industrial here. Very interesting. I had no idea this thing was here. And someone just took all the heads off those trees. But yeah, as you can see, the load world's pretty fast at this speed. If you go in even faster, you might make it cripple. Oh, here we go. Here's the minigame district. Oh, this is this is when half the stuff was built here. We got this little house here. I don't know who built this actually. Is there a name? Huh. Oh, but it looks well built at least. I wish I knew who built it so I could credit him. But yeah, the server is definitely very functional, even on my decrepit PC, old gaming PC, that uses way more power than it should just to run a server. I feel like I should probably unplug my graphics card from it, even though it's not using it. It's still probably sipping out power because I'm using the HDMI output from it. But yeah, the server runs completely fine. I wonder how it would run with a lot more people on. But we'll go back to spawn here. Not back to spawn, back to my base. But yeah, it runs well, I think. It's just that my computer isn't running that well compared. So, we've seen all that. And I guess I will show you I can make another server. I can only connect it to it locally now, though. So, I'll just go to casaos, Crafty. I'll create a new server. Select a server, Minecraft server, vanilla. Server type 1.21.4. New server. Test. And we'll do this. Maximum memory size, we'll do 2 gigs. Let's see. Oh, server port, I'll do a different port. I'll do 6.6. Build a server. Okay. So it's there. Let's see. Let's go to test here. We can go to config. P66. Okay. I will actually go to be right back screen here. So I don't show anything. There we go. Copy that. Add server. Add server, please. There we go. All 25566 here at the end here. And we can go into it after I start it. Agree to the EULA. Okay. I didn't port forward it, so that's fine. I'm not gonna port forward it yet. It's just a little test here. So now, okay, game only here. Hopefully it shows. Please show. I mean, you see this. You see my cursor, right? Why is the game not showing? Okay, let me see. Minecraft Java properties. You saw that, right? Oh. For some reason, Minecraft just crashed. Awesome. Quite sick. Okay, please show this time. You gonna show this time, game? I feel like it's doing the same thing. What is happening? I'm going to full screen here. Okay. I don't get what is happening. Why doesn't it show it? I'm so confused. What is this? There's no other window I can choose. Huh. Okay. I guess we'll go to display instead. I don't know why it doesn't show it. I have no idea why the heck Discord is like, oh yeah, this window doesn't work anymore for some odd reason. And it just crashed. It crashed the game again. Why does... Copy exit code. Let me see. Minecraft exit code. Not 1. Why does it default to 1? Try removing any mods you have installed to see if the error persists. Update this, restart your PC. Give me an actual answer. Update your GPU drivers. Do I even have any... Hey, Janik, how's it going? Let me check adrenaline. Do I even have anything to upgrade? And even so, I shouldn't need to upgrade. What if I choose Java? Okay, there is a current version of my driver, but I'd have to restart the system for it to really, to not mess with anything. Let's see. Is it a Java version? Check for updates. view version about it. Java. Why is it choosing this? Why is it choosing this window? You can see this window, huh? Why is it choosing this window and not the one I want? Okay, if I click play again, will you choose the right window, Discord? Make it full screen there. If not, I'll just switch to the monitor view, which is a pain. Okay. But if it keeps crashing, I don't know what that problem is. Yeah, it's not... You can see the... Okay. Let's switch to monitor view. Actually, let's go to YouTube chat and share instead. Yeah, you can see this right. But yeah, I just created a new server. So we can enter the server via the local IP. And yeah, that's how this is, right? Can I opt myself? No, I have to opt myself from the thing. Let's see, where are the player management things? Opt. Okay. So yeah, we can make a server pretty easily for Minecraft, which means that we can also now host a snapshot survival world straight from my old PC. So great, right? And as you can see, there is some lag from loading these chunks because it is an old PC. My i5 6600 is not very good single threaded. Yeah, I know there was a Mesa. Oh shoot. Almost died there for real. Oh yeah, small Mesa though. Small Mesa. But yeah, if I move fast, it's not going to keep up, right? In fact, it says my CPU usage is 71%. So it's not great. This old PC is definitely not great for newer Minecraft versions. As you saw, it ran well on EchoCraft because I went through all the already loaded chunks. This is the game actually generating the chunks on the fly right now, right? So, and this is only for one person. At 2 gigs. You know, maybe let's see what happens if I up it to... I'll stop the server here. Let's see. It's on my desktop. Oh my god. But yeah, let's see how my my config is. I can switch it to... Let's do 6,000 like the other one. Let's see if it is like that simple, right? 6,000. We'll do it again. Terminal. Also, a camel died in that village. I did not see that. Okay. So we started again. Let me see. It has 6 gigs now. Let's see if that fixes the problem. It probably isn't gonna fix the problem because my CPU was hella pegged. But yeah. Where are we? Well, yeah. Look at this, man. Okay, this is definitely new chunks. I did not pass by any Cherry Grove biome before. And my CPU is at like 70, 80% usage. And the memory usage is still only like 1.4 gigs, so yeah. So the CPU is definitely the limiting factor here. My i5 6600 is very single threaded. is very low on single-threaded performance compared to modern CPUs of this day and age. So if I had like a, what is it called? If I had like not a 4-core 4-thread like my CPU is right now for my server, right? And you can see more flatter lands generate quickly compared to oceans and more jagged lands. CPU bottlenecking. Yeah, this is CPU bottleneck. Definitely. My CPU is running hard right now, apparently. Oh. Hold on. It's 40 watts. It's driving 40 watts of my the CPU itself is just driving 40 watts. It's at like 60-70% usage, driving 40 watts. That's not great for just one server that's barely running great, right? But for testing purposes, it's okay, right? It's okay. We can stop the server. It doesn't need to even schedule a reawakening or anything like that. We still have the test server that we go in, right? For the EchoCraft world to test all the 1.20, 1.24, 1.21 stuff, right? So yeah, the 1.20, 1.4 stuff is being able to be tested here. We got all the data packs up and running. It's just that a lot of client mods are not supported at the moment. So the test server is all right here, hopefully. And I hope to actually upload the newest backup soon. This was the old backup from almost a month ago, so don't take whatever you see here with like almost certainty that stuff hasn't happened yet. But yeah, we have that. The server, it's all fine. Go back to the BRB screen. Although the BRB screen... Wait, is it only the BRB screen? Because it shows something now for the BRB screen, right? Is that showing the window? Yeah, that's showing the monitor. I can disable the monitor for right now. So we could do that. Quit the game. We'll go back to our main account here. Something has already been running your game. Game is already running? Okay, interesting. Blue screen of BRB. Okay, let's go to our main profile here. And it's always like... It always sucks. The OBS is failing like this. Somehow crashing my window for some reason. I hope it doesn't crash anymore. But we have to go to display now, which is great. Does this work? If I do Minecraft Java properties, is it gonna load it? No black screen? Nothing? Oh, okay. It loads now. I have no idea what the heck is... I feel like it's a 1.20 1.4 thing or something. Having to do with my old drivers. Although, I'm like... I'm also like, what? What is wrong with my old drivers? Then the newer AMD drivers have nothing to do with Adrenaline. Have no patch notes from Adrenaline, right? So this is the real server, right? Server where everyone can connect to and use from all around the world. Apex. Except for when I play, my keybinds get shifted again. Where is it? I'm using R, right? Yeah, reload shaders. Put that to there or something. So yeah, back here, we'll go full screen. But yeah, that was my little tour of casaos, Crafty OS from the client side, right? If I were to show you from the server side, you'd only really see nothing. You'd see a terminal. That's all, right? Terminal being like all of these things right on the side, but just up at the top, all black, white text, weird keyboard inputs. But yeah, unfortunately, I can. Okay. The worst thing is that I can't unzip stuff in Crafty because apparently there's some kind of bug there. So I have to unzip it straight from casaos or something. Oh no, I even go straight to the terminal. I go unzip, I go to change directory, go to that file, go to that file's location, and then unzip that file, right? And so, because my CPU is the i5-6600K, right? It is so old, single-threaded sucks, and these EchoCraft worlds are 9 gigabytes to 10 gigabytes in size, right? So yeah, you can see where I'm going with this, right? It's a lot to unpack, so it takes like over 10 minutes to actually like get a whole file unpacked, even via the controller, and then I have to rename it, all that stuff, and change the path to look at that new world that I just unpacked, right? So yeah, but it's all set up for if I want to run stuff like NASs, but only because casaos doesn't allow like private server shares. I think it only allows like public server shares, so I can only make a NAS for everybody who joins in, right? And the server is not connected to UPS or uninterruptible power supply, so if it goes down for any reason, I have to restart it all downstairs. At this moment, the cost is not that much because it's like 40 watts or something, right? Let me actually check what it is now since it's only running one server. It's at like 12 watts idle. Which is probably a little bit more considering that it's only looking at the CPU wattage, right? So, like, that's not bad per se, but literally, I think if I could run my server on my phone, it would only take about like 5 watts and probably be faster, you know? That's how old that system is, right? It was a mid-range gaming PC back in the day, back almost a decade ago. But now it's really just very inefficient. And this system will be too. This system will be hella inefficient later as well. So, gotta do what you gotta do now. But yeah. We have all these bundles, and we have a lot more storage system to build. So let's get into it. If you guys want to talk about anything else, let me know. But at this moment, I think we should probably continue fleshing out this whole area. And maybe I'll do the top there first, with the chiseled deep slate and the tiles. How much chiseled deep slate do I even have? I don't even have that many tiles. Is this actually all my chiseled deep slate? Probably not, right? But yeah, it was actually surprisingly easy to get the NAS running. Or not the NAS, but a Linux server running. However, it doesn't have a real firewall or something. So I'm gonna have to install something for that later. And by real firewall, I mean it is basically port forwarded. Just only port forwarded. Which means it's also not resilient to, at the current time, any DDoS attacks or whatnot, right? So it is still, it's very home server use right now. But if I get enough money, I will be able to convert it to a proper NAS, because I can put like, let's see, maybe we can run a RAID on it, you know, more drives, but I kind of want there to be like 2 terabyte at least drives in RAID, you know. Yeah. And I could actually like probably stop using Google Drive once everything is all set up and running, right? But currently I have to set it up so that I can access it anywhere as well. So I have to port forward the NAS itself to the internet, and I don't have the securities in place yet, so I don't want to have to deal with that yet. But while I'm here, it can actually be used to store a lot of my files, a lot of my content files. So once I actually do get the storage, the hard drives, and plus, okay, here's the worst thing about this setup is that even if I'm using an old computer, right, it's hard drives use a lot of power. So it's kind of like not the best if I what is it called, if I use a lot of hard drives, because what is like, I basically pay like $100 to like Google every year just for their storage, because I go to Google Drive every day. It's so convenient for me. And if this NAS doesn't run like great compared to Google Drive, then then because let's say this, a single 2 terabyte hard drive, right? Let's say that it's around 100. Is it around $100? I forget. But if I want to go 4 terabyte or something, no, it's around like $65, right? So, but you need a bunch of them to be resilient, right? To be redundant storage, right? So even if I purchase just 2 drives, that's already above the cost of 1 year. Although it would be the same amount of like storage, you know, that I have on Google Drive, which is why I say $100 every year. So it can save me on cost in that sense, but in terms of electricity, I kind of have to log it because my old machine is definitely not efficient, and I could be spending way more in the short term here, right? So I'm not too sure about the cost effectiveness of this yet. And plus, it's like, how should I put this? It's not very great because I don't have like, I also don't have like a startup script for the server as well to be like, oh, what happens if power does fail, even if I have the storage, even if I have the UPS, right? Power fails for way more than 24 hours or something. And the server's not doing that much work, but it will still constantly sip power, right? So what happens then? To be honest, I don't know. I don't know what happens then. Can I get the server back up and running? I'm not going to be at home all the time. Can I even remote, like, restart the server, yada yada? Because what I'm doing right now, right, is I'm doing everything via the local network, right? The local area network. So what you see is not what you're probably going to see on the internet here. So, although I could try porting it, and we'll test it out soon, right? Since I have to, it's winter break, I'll have to go back to my my apartment, but currently it can actually hold a lot since I have it at one. Since I have the Linux installed on 1 terabyte hard drive, right? And the Minecraft worlds are only about like 9 to 10 gigabytes, like I said. So every month there's usually a backup, which means for a year, like just 100 gigabytes can suffice, right? And I could just store all my worlds on it at the moment on that one hard drive. But that is not hard drive. One NVMe SSD. But that is not that's not a NAS. It's currently just being used as a server at this point. So yeah. But if you want to do it yourself, right? It's not actually that difficult. It's just that you do have to take into consideration what you will really be paying. Because you can think of it this way, right? I pay like $100 or something, or $65 per 2 terabyte hard drive, right? But then those 2 terabyte hard drives, actually I didn't even search up if it's 2 terabyte NAS, because 2 terabyte NAS is different from regular 2 terabyte hard drives. But if you get like 2 terabyte NASs, right? That's a couple more hard drives. Let's say we buy 4 just for the resilience in 4 copies of your information, right? So we buy that much, 70 times 4, 280. That's already 2 years worth of Google Drive. And let's say electricity for it being run all the time is $30 per year or something like that. It would take me like $40 to keep the server running, or $400 to keep the server running for 4 years, which would be about the same amount of that I would have spent in Google Drive, right? So it's kind of like it's gonna take a while for this money to be like for this server to be worth it, I think. But if I set it up properly, maybe it will be worth it, just so that I don't have to continuously pay Google. And if I get it to a point where I can actually, like, let's say, if I get it to a point where I can actually like host everything on it, like, what I mean by that is I can have all my files on it instead of this computer, because this computer, let's see, currently has almost 2 gigs of video files all stored, right? So genuinely I would want at least 4 terabyte drives, right? But I'll search it up as well. 4 terabyte NAS hard drive. Yeah, that's about 100. Yeah, that's about $100 each. What is this WD Red Plus? It says 4 terabytes. Okay, so that's 4 terabytes each, right? And I think that's definitely enough. Considering that I have the video files on here, right, on my PC right now, and it's taking up about 2 gigabytes, and on Google Drive I'm currently using about 1 terabyte. Why did I say gigabyte? I'm using 2 terabytes, almost using 2 terabytes on this drive right now that I'm recording on. It has all my recordings on. And then for other stuff besides video files, I have like along 1 terabyte of storage via Google Drive. So I would have like 3 terabytes, and who knows? I might actually delete those recordings when I actually get to editing all that stuff. But yeah, I think 4 terabytes is the minimum I really want to do. But what I think is more likely is that I kind of want to go the 8 terabyte route, just so I can actually host it for my family as well. So let's see, 8 terabyte NAS drive. Dang. Okay, they're like average $150 each or something. $180 each. Which is insane. Their wattage would be going through the roof. Oh, it's gonna cost so much. If I really wanted to learn NAS stuff, I probably would have done it a long time ago, so that I wouldn't have to use all these years spending for Google Drive. But Google Drive is very, very useful for me at the moment too. So, yeah, it's kind of a tough situation money-wise, because you always hear online, right? You always hear online that, oh, you should build your own server. It's going to be so much cheaper compared to online storage, but a lot of times they don't really take into consideration the what is it called? The cost of actually having it running, especially if you're using like an older PC, right? Like I am. Which is why server businesses like Google, like Amazon, all their little server stuff, right? Is very, is this actually the same level? Yeah, okay. Is actually very, very profitable because they're running it on very efficient servers. And they keep updating it with more powerful stuff, yada yada, right? So it's always like you're never going to be as efficient as them in terms of like power draw, right? And all that stuff. So that's the unfortunate reality of having your own home server, is that it's never going to be as efficient, energy conscious, yada yada, right? But the argument for it is that you actually have access, or you have security for your own files, but Google also provides services for security reasons your files do get attacked, right? So it's also kind of like that game where there's definitely a lot of benefits to Google Drive and all that stuff. And I've been using Google Drive for my whole life, so it's kind of like I have to find my own solution to it, and my solution is kind of subpar compared to Google's solution, so. But it is interesting to learn all this stuff. I will say that much. They should all end there, right? Yeah, okay. And then we have red nether brick behind it. Right? Yeah. So yeah. Yap session done. Yapping about my NAS. Not even an NAS yet, just my server, Linux server. Yeah, that's right. How many... Okay, I barely have any more smithing tables. But I also can take this out too. I don't need this at the moment. Let's put that in there. I'll need to put these up there. Do I even have any more? No. I do have this. Oh no, wait. I should probably just use these first before I attempt that. There we go. Okay. Just a lot of considerations that people don't talk about end up being very, very important to me. Because you really don't want a server that's really inefficient running all the time. That's why they upgrade servers all the time, you know? The longer you keep something inefficient running, the more it's gonna destroy. It's actually kind of difficult to get these. Let's see, in place here. Maybe I should go with smithing tables first. Smithing tables go where? Go second. Like that. And then stems. Like that. What is in the corner? Just some stairs. Do we have that? No, we don't. Okay. Miscalculation there. I need more of those slabs. Can 3 smithing tables make it to the other side? Yes, okay. It's way too complicated for what I want. So much. But yeah, I guess the other argument is that you're owning all your data, right? So basically the cost of the server running itself is just like all your data is off the cloud. Still accessible via the internet. It's just not on Google servers all the time. At the same time, Google is so much more... Google is so much more, like, convenient, right? You do trade a lot of that off. If I can make it as convenient, wouldn't be that big of a deal. Okay, let's get some more slabs going. Unless there were more slabs in here. No. Yeah, no. Here we go. What was it? It was the tile, not tile, polished. And let me tell you, the only reason I really switched now is because I accidentally kind of like destroyed a lot of the Windows. My Windows install, trying to get Windows 11 working on my old system because it wasn't supported. Oh wait, probably shouldn't have gone there. I think maybe the stairs would have gone there. These stairs, right? Shoot, that's kind of not a great position. There we go. And that's all kind of connected, right? Let me check. Yeah, and then there's a slab beneath those. Yeah, okay. Good. Maybe it's better just to do something like this, you know? Okay. That. Get that up there, right? Okay. So the floor is mangrove, but the top is crimson, right? I don't really have that many slabs with me. Let's see. If I take this out, I take one of these out, still not going to be that much. I also have all this grass for not a good reason. Random grass from the floor. Okay. Can we make a bit of slabbage here, right? There's really no place to put it, huh? Let's see. Don't need that right now. I don't need that right now. It's also not that many slabs that I need, but this is probably enough for this area. I made way too many slabs. Oh, what is the light that I'm using up here? The shroom light, isn't it? Well, it's kind of dark right now, right? So I don't need all of this. I'm guessing it's a shroom light, yes. I don't need this anymore, actually. That goes out. Okay, good. My mistake. My mistake again. Okay, now it's facing the right-ish direction. Okay, now we go down here. Start placing in... Maybe we should do this like one at a time, like I did before with the walls on the edge, right? Like maybe we should just do the ceiling first, and then we could do all the side stuff afterwards. Don't know how my mouse got oh, there we go. Alright, choice for this device, not now. Okay. Yeah, maybe we should just do the top first. And then we'll do the sides. Why is it doing that? Okay. Is this okay? I don't think so. Yeah, that's better, I think. Okay. I think that's how the scaffolding should go every single time. We are out of, smithing tables again. Wait, why do I need the smooth stone for again? Up there? Just a little bit of smooth stone, not a lot. Also have some stone on me. So what is it? What did I need again? My mind is blinking. Oh, I don't need these if I'm not going to be building it with it right now. Also the barrels, they're kind of all used already. I need smithing tables, yes. Iron is in here? Yes? Yes, okay. I'll make a stack of smithing tables. There we go. But I need more crimson on me. Yeah. Crimson, crimson, crimson. I color-coded all of my bundles, but not my boxes, so I'm still confused on where things are. Oh no. Okay. Let's see. What do we got here? More crimson. Yo, tree. Is this the lucky days? Oh yes, it is. I'll go back to a Monday mine down. Let's go on Minetron. Okay, this is not the best place. Yeah, this is better. Just get on this edge. Okay. Got that going. We can put in these slabs. Right. And shroom light, run random shroom light in the top of the wall here. Doesn't matter if I go too deep. Goes like that. Okay. We do this, we do this. This and this on the side, because I don't really want to have to worry about it. We go that. Do that. Okay. And we start off with smooth stone. Right, and transition straight into smooth basalt. All sides here go like that. And then we have our stairs facing away. Right. Then we got the smooth basalt coming out. But yeah, how's it going? How's it going? Oh yeah, this is I forgot to say about this one thing. Apparently, there's a new game called Marvel Rivals that's been storming up the scene recently. I'm not sure if you guys have played it, but apparently it's an Overwatch kind of game. So if you're not a fan of the Overwatch style, then maybe it's not for you, but you know. It's a new hero shooter. PvP shooter. Oh, shoot. These mess ups. They hurt the soul. But yeah, I heard it's pretty fun. Maybe we'll check it out. Who knows? Who knows what I want to do right now? But it's probably something that's pretty fun for a lot of people, right? And it seems like a lot of people are getting onto that train. Not sure if you guys know anyone who plays Marvel Rivals, right? Oh yeah, and also another thing is that I just recently bought Balatro, so you know, we can also try that out as well. It was on sale, by the way. I ain't buying anything unless it's on sale. Sorry, I needed a cough there. I haven't been streaming for a long time, right? So I just completely forgot to just drink water. Bruh, how many times am I gonna have to? How many times am I gonna have to try to get into that gap, man? Many times, apparently. Okay. So the last thing here is I need the crimson slabs at the top. And that's gonna be one more ceiling done, right? We got the, like, rib section up here. I mean, okay, we have a couple sections done, right? I'm also just gonna break those just so that when I do break the whole thing, it's not gonna fall onto those, onto that tap on accident. But yeah, so we got 3 of them done, right? 3 of the ceilings done. Does that feel more complete? I think it does, right? This place looks a little bit more complete like that. We still don't have the floors or the pillars all completely done, right? But oh my gosh, there's so much more. I'm sorry I couldn't finish this before today. There's things called finals that I will say that I got very good grades on. So, you know, not very exciting as in like not very exciting in the way where it's like, oh, what will my grade be at the end? Holy crap. What? Dude, I gotta know what am I gonna get? Am I gonna get a B, a C, yada yada, right? But yeah, it's not exciting in that way, as in like, holy crap, my GPA is gonna go through the floor after this grade or something. But I will say that I kind of think the schooling system's a little bit messed up in this way, where while it wouldn't be like very different if you think of it like this in terms of like grading, but it's interesting to be like to know of it in this way, in this form, I guess, right? So it's the schools don't incentivize trying to do different things, right? So what schools do is they make you adverse to risk taking, which means you're less likely to take more risks. And why that is a bad thing for school in general is because what the equivalent of not taking more risk is that if you do poorly in a subject, right, you're not likely to pursue it, right? Because if you're like, oh, I got a D in art class or something like that, right? You think that you're crap at art and that you shouldn't pursue it. Whereas in other classes you might get a B and you're like, oh, maybe I should learn history or something, right? But it doesn't make it so that you're eager to learn. It makes it so that you go to the path that it has the least resistance, like at the current time, right? Even though if you really want to do art or something like that, you're just getting graded on it, you're just doing poorly, it's bad for your mental health to keep on like thinking about it, right? Like, oh, what? I really like this thing. Why am I so bad at it? But it's not that you're so bad at it, right? It's more like you're not that experienced in it. If you keep working at it and you keep aspiring to learn it, then you'll probably get somewhere that you weren't when you began it, right? And in some cases, classes will be like, you need to understand all of this, right? You need to learn all of this. There's no point in taking this if you're not gonna ace this course, right? But at the same time, you're not gonna learn if you feel discouraged to learn, right? So that's my food for thought for anyone taking classes and stuff like that. The school system doesn't reward effort in that way, right? And it's also kind of dumb, you know. Schools will expect you to be a master at this one subject, even though at university, right, they only give you at most 4 months, right, to learn a subject that they've probably been taught on for so many years. So it's kind of like, how are you expecting all the students to be of your caliber when you give them such little time compared to the time that you had, as you were a student, professor, you know. So it's kind of like, what kind of expectations are you setting on students that they can't do something that took you years and decades to master, and you just give them a poor grade on it, you know? So, yeah. Oh yeah, the thing that I wanted to say at the beginning was this. You probably shouldn't look at the grade as you're at 100% at the beginning of the semester, right? It should be from 0. It should be you are building towards this, right? You are building towards this grade. Not that everything you do, if you get something wrong, if you get a mistake, you're detracting from your total grade. I'm not sure if you, like, I'm not sure if it's understood clearly what I'm trying to say, right? More like, it's, you should think of it as starting from 0, right? Not detracting from 100. Because I don't think you should expect to be perfect in every way here, right? Which is why, like, I think a lot of teachers, professors, you know, drop at least 1 grade from each one of your sections, right? Like, if you have lab, drop 1 lab report. If you have what is it called? If you have a midterm, if you have 3 midterms, 1 final, right? If your midterm was poor, then you could just substitute it with your final, right? So there are a lot of ways that you can actually make it so that it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel the end of the world if you get like 1 C, D, F, you know, on 1 assignment. It's more like, okay, you can do at least this well and you'll still get an A, you know. It's just that kind of mindset where you're more adverse to you're not really, you shouldn't be taking risks. You should be doing what you're good at, but you're not going to know what you're good at unless you actually try it, and you end up getting discouraged in stuff that you want to try, right? So it doesn't foster a good learning environment being, if you think of it as being detracting from 100. And plus, at the end of the day, you only really need a C grade to get your degree, you know? So you don't really have to care that much about getting perfect scores. But it's the thing that colleges and jobs look at. So it's not like it doesn't matter when you're trying to get your first employment, right? Like, it's something that definitely matters. Like, it shouldn't matter, but when everything is boiled down to just a number, that's all that matters, right? It's not a great system in that way. Actually, quite frankly, kind of horrible. Hey, Sanity, how's it going? I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. We're making some progress on this thing. Maybe I should put it here. Or should I have, like, double? Is that enough light? That's definitely enough light. Okay. But yeah, I was just ranting about the school system and how it, like, pushes people to not want to try new things. Which, even if they're interested, they'll be like, oh, this grade, not doing too good, bad for my GPA. That means I shouldn't do it, even though I actually really like doing it, you know? Like, you can definitely not care about it and just keep going, right? Just keep trying to reach that goal that you set for yourself. But it's, the institutions are just not really, just don't encourage that kind of behavior, right? especially with the whole credit requirement stuff, right? If you keep doing what you want to do instead of what people care about, you know? Because they just boil you down to a number in the end, right? Then you may find success, but a lot of times it's just very discouraging to even want to try new things. Honestly, it's kind of this is going to be a weird example analogy, right? But the weird example and analogy I give, right, is like, it's kind of like free to play versus paid games in a way. I'll explain here, right? You're less willing to commit to paying for play a game if you have to commit some amount of money at the beginning, right? So it discourages you from even trying the game if it has a high upfront cost, right? And just like what I said before, there's an upfront cost of not doing what you want. Not doing what you want to do, not trying to improve your skills in one area that you're deficient in. What schools try to tell you is that you should be doing something that you're doing well in right now, right? Not trying to make up for any lack of deficiencies, just trying to strengthen what they believe are your strong points, right? So, and I think that's a really weird thing to really want as well, because there's a lot of things that a lot of Americans just don't have experience in, right? Like, let's say home economics, basically just cooking and taking care of yourself, right? That's not really a requirement in a lot of American schools, right? Even though you're gonna have to be doing it for the rest of your life after you are independent, right? So it's kind of like let's say you're not good at cooking. Are you gonna be told to not cook, right? Are you gonna be told not to be able to feed yourself without anyone's help? Like, is that a good way to tell people how to live their lives? Just, you're not good, you're not gonna cook, oh, you should just buy fast food, you should just do something else. Just try not to be able to cook for yourself. Try not to make something edible, at least, right? Or you're bad at cleaning. Just hire a housemaid or something. Just hire someone to cook and clean for you, you know? Like, instead of working to improve yourself in areas where you're like deficient in, it's more like, you shouldn't be trying this. They're telling you to not try this because you're bad at it right now, and it's just a waste of time if you even try, right? But for me, I say, like, that's not a very healthy way, I think, of approaching stuff. Because if you don't try, how are you gonna know that you are definitely not suited for this thing, right? Like, I will say that there are definitely areas where even if you try hard, you probably won't get through, right? Like, let's say you want to be a basketball player, right? It's going to be significantly harder for you if you're not above a certain height threshold, and if you don't have enough, like, leg power and accuracy. You can definitely improve on leg power and accuracy, but you can't really do anything about the height, because the height is what matters when you're not trying to get blocked, you know? Which is an important part of the game. So there are some things that people aren't just made for, like, biologically or something, right? But for leg power, for jump height, you know, for control, dribbling, all that stuff, you can definitely learn it, right? And that's not to say you shouldn't even focus on basketball. Oh, you can even do it as a hobby, right? Do what you know and not what you're actually interested in. It's similar to you taking tests telling you what career to pursue. It's only going to tell you what you can already do. Good robots don't deviate from their assigned tasks. Yeah, it's just a problem where, like, people think. okay, this is going to be a weird example as well, but like, it's like right now we are implementing the Harry Potter sorting hat for everything. But as you know from Harry Potter, right? Even if you are a different class other than Gryffindor, you can still do heroic stuff, but people are just very tied to an assigned path that they themselves did not choose, right? That they think that that's all they should do, right? Like, oh, you gotta be conniving, if you're conniving, crafty, sinister, right? You must be Slytherin and you can never be a hero, yada yada, right? Like, it's kind of screwed in that way. What I think a healthy education is like empowering kids, right? To be able to be self-sufficient, live on their own, and pursue what they want to do, you know? Just like, I don't think it's the adult's job to be like, oh yeah, you can't do this. Like, you know, just, you could at least give the kid a chance, right? And not have it be like completely, grade altering, you know? Like completely screwing up their future professional lives. Like that D&R class is going to haunt you forever if you're very interested in art. But the teacher said, oh no, this kind of sucks. And I will say, it probably did suck. But it's not like you can't get better at it, you know? It's just a thing where it's like, people expect perfection, even though perfection is rare, you know? Perfection is like less, what is it called? Less achievable. And what's very easy, I think, to get in the mindset of is that if it's not perfect, it's worthless, you know? Which, it's very, you know... For me, I can relate because I'm a perfectionist in very many ways that are unhealthy. But I will say that there are diminishing returns in chasing perfection, right? And especially if you expect that perfection from other people. You're not taking into account to account that people make mistakes and they will always make mistakes, you know? Like, you can't prevent mistakes from happening. What you can prevent is from mistakes being very detrimental, right? Like, let's say you can't prevent all people from smoking or whatnot, right? But you can at least teach the dangers of smoking so that you can prevent other people from falling into the same trap that a lot of smokers have done, right? Like, they might have smoked initially just because their friends peer pressured them, right? They could have smoked initially because their let's say because it was a social thing to do at the time, you know? Like, there's a lot of things that could have transpired to allow smoking to happen. But you give the warning to kids. You're like, yes, this will make you feel temporarily good, but being temporarily good, running away from your problems, right, isn't really facing them. Oh, shoot. I got the really... And I guess that's what it boils down to, right? Like, schools rarely teach kids to actually face their problems. They're most likely saying, right? Or they're most of the time saying that you should just go towards the path of least resistance. Like I said before, right? Do what you're good at. But you can never get better if you always just try doing what you're good at, right? You can never be fully rounded, I guess, if you never polish those blemishes that you have at the moment. Okay, what I wanted was the Blackstone. And I think the worst part is that there's also... Where's my Blackstone reel? There's also a sense of responsibility. Oh, there it is. A set of responsibility on the student as well, right? Because not only are they pressured by school to do what they're... Oh, what? Actually, what am I missing? What did I forget to do here? Oh, it's just those stairs, and I was so blind I couldn't see those stairs. Anyway. But it's also... It does also have real life consequences, as in your time, your parents' time, your parents' money, yada yada, right? They go into sending you to schooling would just be wasted on them. So you have the responsibility of doing your parents proud, and the best way to do your parents proud is to do something, is to go towards the path of least resistance, like I said, right? Like, let's say you're very good at math, right? But you want to do something like orchestra because you really like music. Your parents are not going to like that because you're not going to be able to show them like a good score, right? You're not so good at music right at the moment, right? You haven't gone to music class. They didn't see you interested in music before, right? So for them, like, it could be coming out right out of left field. And they're like, and they could be like, why are you wasting your time on this? Why are you wasting your time on this? You're not even good. What am I paying you to do? What am I paying for school for? For you to fail? So you do have a lot of pressures in that area, right? Where it's like, you want to do something you want to do is often like very costly in terms of time and money to the people paying for your education, right? Your parents. So more rambling, right? Isn't that great? I love to ramble. But anyway, it's kind of I guess my point is just that in general, not a very healthy learning environment for many kids. You are afraid to fail, right? Even though humanity has never ever been perfect at the beginning, right? Like, I don't understand how you expect perfection out of everyone, right? And then base everyone's grade, like everyone's ability, based on what is perfect, you know? The ideal conditions don't exist. I mean, okay, let's say this. The ideal conditions do exist, but in very, very certain conditions. And very, very certain situations, right? Like, you could always say, let's say, you know, how sciences have to make assumptions, right? Like, you have to assume for a physics problem or something, no friction, even though there's always friction, right? The assumption is there. There's an ideal condition. Ideal conditions are never supposed to be expected, right? It's just a possibility. And always expecting the best is very, I think, toxic to health, right? Toxic to people's mental health, right? Because it will turn people into me, you know, a perfectionist, right? And while there can be some benefits to being like, oh, we have to be very stringent on this thing, right? Very restrictive. Because let's say the medical field, right? You don't really want to have a shoddy doctor, a shoddy surgeon, you know? Like, like there's definitely some cases where it's like, you definitely should be good at the thing that you're pursuing, right? Like, you definitely should be good at doing that. But at the same time, if you're just learning, right? Like, you're not taking in patients' life or death situations, right? Then don't treat it like that. Obviously, the student is not going to have that much practice as a real surgeon out in the world, right? So stop expecting them to be as capable as a real surgeon before they've even started, right? But yeah, I think that's probably all I really want to say about how flawed education can be. Because a lot of times, it just doesn't encourage learning. What we have now doesn't encourage learning. Oh yeah, I'm no good at computers. Oh, you could learn it, you know. You could spend some time. It's not all like doom and gloom. Like, oh, this person's talented, you know. Right. But good performance is both like talent and hard work, you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't know what else to talk about here. I guess I'll do a small rant here about something else that has been frustrating. Is dental and vision insurance, because that's not part of regular health insurance in America. And let's say there's a historical reason why that's the case, right? Which is dental and health were, or dental and vision were mostly basically craftsmen's trades and not part of the medical community for a long time in America, right? But that doesn't mean they aren't healthcare. They should be a part of general healthcare, is my argument. That's one of the frustrations I had to deal with this week. So, there's too much to juggle in terms of healthcare. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I have to do this here. Right? Oh, it's going to be kind of difficult with this one, since there's no blocks above. How should I go about this? I guess I'll just break that block to do this part. Right? Oops. Gonna die, right? I'm gonna die. This world is over. I'm gone. Falls off a one-story building. Goodbye, forever. Okay, that seems kind of sufficient. No. Very inefficient there. Oh yeah, I will say another thing about it is that what is it called? There is another case where you should definitely strive for perfection, is like our technology. And most of that is just because if we're inefficient with power, we're doing our like our electrical grid like a disservice, you know. No one really wants to be paying to be able to process like 4,000 watts of power into one system. That's not very great. So yeah, there are definitely examples where you should definitely try to be as efficient as possible. Okay, what am I missing? What am I running out of over there? Running out of basalt? Yes. Have more basalt in here? No. Okay, I have some smooth in there. Do I have... Okay, I don't have any other smooth. So we're going to be taking from this stash now. Oh yeah, I'm not using these anymore at the moment. Wish I could put these in here. I guess this is what we're using at the moment. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know, this is already feeling a bit more complete here. Right? I'm wondering if I should just go around and do the tops here by itself, right? Because I feel like that would be faster. Just getting all these done here. Also, it might allow me to actually look at what I don't have at the moment. I even put some more in there. What the heck? I have more space than I thought. And since I don't need that much more of these, it shouldn't be that big of a deal to just go around and just do this. Though I am fumbling a little bit with my materials. Okay. I need more... Do I need more stairs too? Yeah, okay. I need more stairs and... Maybe that's not great. I need more stairs and slabs. Okay, there we go. I actually remembered to put this playlist on loop again. So, yay me for remembering that. Oof. There we go. Oh yeah, by the way, when I was doing something with like Linux, it was actually kind of interesting how similar it is to, let's say, a regular Linux OS. I've been also trying Mac OS, right? So Mac OS is actually much more similar to like Linux than Windows in my opinion. So I was interested in that. Like, well, let's say Linux is like what is it called? I forgot what it's called again. The GUI and how the terminal works and all that stuff. It's very interesting how I thought, in my inexperience, right, that Windows was much closer to Linux than Mac, but it seems the other way around. But a lot of things that you can do in Linux, you just can't do in other operating systems. Microsoft is slowly adding all those features that people want from Linux, you know, into their own systems, into their own devices, yada yada, right? So, you know, they know people want it, right? And they know they don't want people to switch away from it, right? And Microsoft really is only for business. I don't really know how many people actually use like Microsoft 365, all that Word and Excel and stuff like that. I know people use Excel, but you know, it just feels like I don't see any PowerPoints anymore, you know, and stuff. And I've been used to and have always been using like Google Drive for everything, right? All the Google services that are free, you know. Free for us, not free for Google. And you know how like mail is always free as well. So it's kind of an interesting like dynamic with how like a lot of things are tied into, because I know back in my school days we didn't have like, or back in my, let's say, pre-college days, it was more or less just Google Drives and Chromebooks. So obviously, if I'm used to it, you know, I don't have access to my old accounts because they delete those emails after a certain amount of time, right? But it's all kind of like very, the word for it is escaping me right now. Interesting, because I know a lot of other schools had like iPads as like their workspaces, you know, but I'm pretty sure even on the iPad, right, they were probably still using Google services, you know. And I think most people are using Chrome. And I know there's a whole lot of people just be like, just use Firefox, man. Just use Firefox. Come on, use Firefox. You gotta support Firefox instead. But I think until like Google actually like, or until Firefox actually does stuff that Google does, I don't think many people are really going to be switching off to it. I know a lot of people are are like very adamant about de-Googlifying their lives, but I honestly don't see it to be that big of a deal. Just mostly because, like, even now, I think the courts have ruled, or not the courts, FTC or something, has ruled that Chrome should no longer be completely under Google or something, right? So someone could buy out Chrome. Because of their, like, antitrust stuff. Antitrust dealings. Antitrust lawsuit. Yada yada. So. There's that. But at the same time, do you even trust any other company to like run it better than Google? There we go. Nice. Okay, that ceiling should be done. And I'm running out of red nether brick. Let's go grab some more of those. About. Also, it might be just a thing for me, but I honestly don't get why. like I'm pretty sure. Not really. Google has just gone creepier through the use in their use of information. Well, for me, it's more like I just have my own thing where I don't really fall for the advertisements, like, you know, like, it's just one of those things where I don't really understand how, like, people are, or I guess Google it themselves, right? And how how ads work, right? I also have ad blockers, so I don't really see any ads often, right? But for me, it's just like, how are they making so much money off these ads? I feel like there's so many ads, and there's so many very crappy ads everywhere, right? So it's like, I just roll my eyes, ignore it, right? If it's sponsorship in a video, I'm just like, doesn't really matter that much, right? Don't really care that much. And I don't understand how advertisers really keep getting more money than they put in, right? To, like, the Google ad services or anything like that, right? Like, obviously ads are a big part of the platform. It's just that I personally don't get why or how it works so well. Just because of the way I use the internet, you know? It's just like, they take information from me, don't really care, because even if they advertise something to me, I'm not really going to jump at it, right? Like, that's not something that they do, or that I I guess, fall for every single time, right? But I guess I'm maybe looking at this the wrong way in the sense that it's not that they want like my money, is that they want people who are more likely to buy more stuff's money. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it better. Just like, oh, I can't really put a light here. This kind of sucks. I mean, I could still do this thing, right? Like, sometimes I'm thinking like, what am I doing wrong when I'm not like, when I'm not buying anything from ads or something, right? Like, there's so many crappy ads on websites, yada yada, right? That I'm just like, okay, that's not gonna make me purchase it. But I guess people with like a less discerning eye might be more tempted, maybe? I'm not sure. And it's also probably because I'm not like the average person, I guess. Right? Maybe the average person is way more consumerist than me, I guess. I don't think that's the right word, but it's the word I want to use to describe it. Like if I want something, right? Like let's say like I did today, right? I wanted to see how the NAS hard drives stacked up in terms of price, right? I'm just looking across every other site. I'm not looking at any ads. I'm just like I'm comparing what's available right now, and if I think there might be a sale or a deal later on, right? Maybe I'll keep track of it, right? I guess a lot of people may not be that vigilant. Like if they want something, they'll buy it now. If they think this good deal is never going to last, especially if corporations tell you it's a good deal, you know. Like, are you going to really believe it unless you check something like a price checker, right? But maybe people aren't digging that deep, you know, into just something that they think is just going to be a one-off purchase, right? Whereas I try to like min-max this stuff. Min-max my purchasing power. Spend the least for the most, you know. And maybe that's the reason why like stuff like Honey exists, right? Like how they can still be used very regularly, right? Just like there's a market for just being able to instantly or see deals or whatnot, right? But yeah. Now really Google just gone creepier. Yes, I'm just trying to take over control of my information more. It's a NAS investment. I'm slowly trying to use it more. Yeah, I think the problem is that like there's a huge upfront cost with NASs compared to traditional cloud services, because usually cloud services are free. They give you like 5 gigabytes or something, right, at the beginning. But if you want to store more data, then you have to upgrade to a non-free plan, which is why Google Drive has gotten my money. Because I have a lot of files that I have to work with and have at any time, right? Once I get like my whole NAS and stuff set up, maybe I'll try to drive that away, especially since, what is it, 4 terabyte drives are like $100 each, right? So I can make a RAID. I have to spend like $400. I have to spend a bit of money just to get a RAID setup working, right, for redundant data. And even if I just spend on those hard drives, right, Google Drive only costs about like $100 a year. So it's kind of like for what I use, basically 2 terabyte, the 2 terabyte option. I forget what it's called, but it's kind of like, yeah, I can definitely I can definitely save money in the long run, but at this time right now it's more convenient, especially since I don't have the funds to purchase more stuff at the moment, because like I said, I'm playing with Mac OS, which means that I did buy a Mac recently, the cheapest Mac, the student discount Mac 4 Mini, because it's faster than my old PC and runs with way less wattage, which I think is very important, just so that I don't drain power every single time. This computer in general, right? This computer is running so many watts right now, right? Just playing Minecraft, just recording. At least I have SSDs. I have 1 hard drive in the system, right? So there is some wattage. There is some more wattage added to that. I have like 850 power supply, yada yada, 850 watt power supply. It's always constantly being used, so it's like, yeah. I'm definitely not very power conscious at the moment. With my gaming rig, but I hope that will change later. I kind of wish Apple would actually focus on this stuff, because if they give an alternative to like a Windows PC but runs like half the power, right? You know, it's definitely good for my electricity bill, you know what I mean? Because then it will force, like, you know how Apple's M1 dominated the laptop space and price to performance for like 2 years or something, before Windows came out with like with more efficient processors, more efficient chips, right? Like, that's where competition really makes the industry as a whole better, right? Because really, if things are getting more hotter, you want things to be more efficient, because a lot of things won't work under intense heat, or constant heat without constant heat generation without much in the way of dissipating it, right? So that's why I'm kind of like I'm still kind of like off put by having my own NAS be my old computer, right? Old PC, because that thing is definitely not efficient. Like, the amount that I might pay in electricity might be like, over those 4 years that I would pay off the hard drives, it would probably be another year just to pay off the electricity cost for running it for 4 years, right? So yeah, it's not really I don't know how to say it. It's not really a one-sided thing where it's like, oh, this running your own NAS is definitely better with an old computer, right? Because like I said before, the scaling of like Google, Amazon's cloud services, right, are way more efficient than your tiny PC that or your mid-tower PC that you bought like a decade ago, right? Because they're constantly updating those just so that they don't take that much power to run, right? And they have their own resiliency baked in, right? Because many people are probably using different servers, or the same server rack, you know, yada yada, right? So their power efficiency is definitely going to be way better than any home user, right? I'm sitting on 4 terabytes of data and growing as I continue setting things up. I think I'll pay for it. It'll pay for itself for a couple more years. Yeah, I'll say that the absolute minimum I would do is 2 terabyte RAID. But what would be ideal is 8 terabyte RAID, just so that I can, if I can do it, I can set stuff up for like my family as well, you know. that they're able to use it. And I know that I'm the only one taking up tons of terabytes of data. So mostly it's just for, I can just offload all my terabytes of clips that I haven't even put in editor yet, right? And if I even have, while I'm attached locally, not via Ethernet but via Wi-Fi to my Linux server, right? So if I really wanted to, I can grab a really long Ethernet cable and actually directly attach it to it. Although I'm not sure if my mid tower even has another port, another Ethernet port for it, right? So that's kind of by the way, what I mean by another Ethernet port is just to connect it directly to my system, right? So I don't have to go through. I could just set up like a network share over wired connection instead of having to do the whole uploading that I'm doing right now. But yeah, the cost right now is kind of a bit much, and most of that is just due to let's say most of that is just due to what I want out of it, right? Because I also want to give it like an uninterruptible power supply, so that's definitely going to cost a bit more there, especially since my computer itself probably not going to be using more than 100 watts. But if I want to be safe, I should probably think about how much more it could be using, especially since I'm not using my GPU. I can factor that out, right? So maybe I can go with like the cheapest power supply or uninterruptible power supply there is, UPS, which may be like 200 watts or something. Maybe that will suffice. If it because like that's the other thing that like cloud services provide, is that they have basically 100% uptime. And if I'm not able to access my thing remotely, let's say that I'm on vacation, like for the first time in how many years, right? I'm on vacation and like I need to use it. I have a lot of stuff on it that I want to be able to access. It's not going to be accessible unless I actually do something about it at my home. And since I'm not home, it's kind of it kind of sucks in that way, right? Oh, I don't have the tough stuff. Okay, I don't need this anymore. But yeah, it's kind of like there's so much convenience that it can be pretty hard to make your own alternative. Especially since if I want to make this for my entire family, it kind of has to work all the time, right? Or else they'll be like, oh, I'll just use a Google Drive. But at the same time, you know, you can store everything on the NAS that you don't need at the current time, right? Like all my recordings. So it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, right? You can just basically, if you have something you really need, maybe you can just use the default Google stuff, right? Just default Google stuff at like how I did it here. Yeah, okay. Default Google stuff, 5 gigs per person, right? Because you don't need everything on you at the moment. So it could definitely be good in that sense. Oh shoot, why did I do that? Even if the server is offline, all the important stuff that you have can be with you, right? Unless you're like trying to edit offline, edit some videos away from home, you know, then it could definitely be an issue if the NAS somehow shuts down or something, right? So there's a lot of considerations that I'm still thinking through. How should I solve this? And also, I'm still not very fluent in how to use my NAS, you know, or how to use my server. All I did was set up Minecraft server, right? I port forwarded and all that stuff, but you know, oh no, that's right. I was thinking I need another chain below it, but no. So it's not exactly like I'm a master at this yet. Oh, we're getting there, you know. One at a time. I might not even be able to get my NAS up and running soon-ish, right? Even this winter break. The winter break is not actually that long, but you know. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I am not really, my case is not that of, I don't want Google to have my information. It's just that the current cost of everything is just a little bit much since I have I have recently bought a new Mac computer, my first Mac computer. So my funds are not really that high at the moment to afford at least 3-4 terabyte drives, you know? So that might be a summer project. But, you know, the Minecraft servers are up and running. The i5 6600K is still living despite its, like, despite its poor single thread performance these days. It also could be a thing where I have not, where are my, oh, it is right here. Probably put them all here, you know. Like where I am in terms of like power efficiency and performance there. Like it doesn't hold a candle to this the server on Apex, right? Like they just upgraded to the latest or one of the latest AMD processors, right? So they're already a bit better in that regard. Got heavy single core performance. Good clock speeds. But yeah, it doesn't seem like I'm going to be buying a PC for a while. Just components along the way. I still think my computer is good enough to last like 3 more years at least, you know? 5900X, 6900 XT, not gonna be faltering anytime soon, especially for just Minecraft and streaming, you know? At the same time, I think I always have to like think about it like that, because it's definitely overkill just to play some Minecraft, but at the same time, having good CPU and GPU combo lets me use both encoders, especially since this generation of AMD processors did not come with an iGPU, so I can't use an onboard encoder like that. Onboard GPU encoder for some tasks. Also, it's kind of getting exciting out there, you know? New graphics cards coming out. The Intel B580 received great reviews for its what is it called? For its price point and its not so destructive BIOSes or what is it called? Drivers that their initial Arc Alchemist line had, right? So they're getting some good competition there, especially since AMD has said that they what is it called? Especially since AMD themselves have said that they are no longer really committed to the high end. Which, I will say, is definitely bad for anybody wishing that high-end performance can come soon. Oh, I didn't build this one, okay. Cheaper high-end performance can come soon, I mean. So, basically just saying that, like, the 5090 or whatnot that's gonna come out is gonna cost maybe $2,000, $2,500. Because they can definitely charge that now, right? Since AMD is not playing ball at the high end anymore. But having more mid-range stuff, like, that's what my old gaming PC was, right? My first gaming PC was basically the RX 480, right? And the reason I got it was because everyone was raving about it, saying that it's best price to performance. And at the time, the 6600K, I should have listened to my friend. Because I didn't know much about computers back then, but I accidentally got an unoverclockable motherboard with that processor. So it's kind of like, I didn't need it. Oh, I don't need to go back up here. I didn't need the 6600K. I could have just gone with the 6600 or something, right? But I was thinking, hey, why not? Even though it costs like $30 more or something. Back at those times. I did not know much about computers. And I struggled a lot to get a Minecraft server running back then. I don't know if this is too old for people to know about, but like, for Minecraft, I used to run a server through Hamachi. So, pretty old there. Also at the same time, TeamSpeak was a big thing, which is very interesting to look at now. And Discord is basically, what is it called? Trying to fall in the same way Skype did. So it's very interesting to see all this play out, you know? Knowing the past. Anything else that I don't need? I'm gonna have to convert this later, but I guess I don't need it on me right now. Let me see. Put this in here, put this in here, put this in here. This can fit? Yes, okay. Okay. Yeah, there you see. There you go. You know, you see bundles? Bundles do their work. Freed up a bit of inventory space. I can grab some more chains now because I'm running out. Oh, what? Okay, yes, this one. We're almost to the beacon. Not bad. But yeah. It's kind of crazy, like... I remember when Discord was very niche. Like, not that many people used it. And it was still very, I mean, it's still very, there's really no other alternative to Discord at the moment, though. Unless, unless Skype somehow makes a comeback, you know what I mean? But I think Microsoft would rather buy Discord instead of just making Skype better. Well, I'm not sure if they even need Discord, you know? It's like, they have Skype, they have Teams, they're all kind of like business oriented, right? How many people use it? I remember using Skype a long time ago with my friends to do some Minecraft server stuff, right? But it's just not relevant anymore. Sorry, I forgot to take a drink again. Oh, I've taken a drink. Remember how to stream. There's the app for like 2 hours. Only takes like 2 drinks. But yeah, this is getting along fine, you know? I'm not sure how impressive this is. Just having this storage system here. I don't even have, like, honestly, we can make the whole place whole storage system, but I don't think I need that much. It's kind of like, yeah, I don't even know what to do with the entrance. I mean, there are 4 entrances. There's an entrance all the way over to the left of me here, right? Like that thing, that area basically has nothing. I mean, I guess that whole corridor basically has nothing, right? So I'm not really sure what to do with it. I know the corridor opposite from the center here, right? Opposite of this one from the center is all basically what I want to use for like local farms, but you know, I'm still struggling to think about a use for the perpendicular corridor. Why did I do it? Why do I do that? Keep forgetting. Okay. That's okay there. That tree was still here. Howdy again. Then he leaves. What is he doing? He's probably building something. He's probably checking it. He's Santa. Making a list. Checking it twice. Da 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 da, naughty or nice. I think what's very interesting about like how like holidays work at the end of the year for America is just like there's almost nothing for Thanksgiving, you know. It's just like it's either Halloween or Christmas. Like everything is decorated for either Halloween or Christmas. Like no one's out there like making a whole Thanksgiving themed like thing, you know. It's just a time where family yells at each other, which is how I think a lot of people view Thanksgiving, right? Well, my family does is that we just make turkey and eat. Make turkey. Oh yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this before in the prior stream, but it was like I totally forgot about stuffing. I totally forgot about stuffing this year. I completely forgot about it. So I'm kind of like a little bit disappointed. Didn't get to eat stuffing, but had a great turkey. So, you know. My priorities. My priorities are always food. I love food. Who doesn't love food? But way more interesting to me than yelling. Yelling at other family members. Okay, how much do I need now? That's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That's 10 more lamps, which I only have. I need 3 more of them. And I think I might have enough stairs. I just think I need more lamps. More lanterns, I mean. Oh yeah. Another interesting thing, I keep saying that, you know. Another interesting thing is what is going to be the next Minecraft drop, you know? Like, we just got the Pale Garden, right? And apparently they had a bunch of cryptic emojis about like something to do with spring. So spring update, yada yada. We know there's going to be spring update, you know. I don't think they need to tease it like that. But at the same time, they said it's not just a spring update. Which, you know, I hope it's a gardening update. Come on. You gave us the Pale Garden. Give us more fauna, more fruit, you know? I need more. Like, the Pale Garden itself, definitely one biome for a drop. Pretty nice, right? We had the Armored Paws drop with all the wolves and trims for those armadillos, new mob, you know. So, if they're going with this strategy, right, of releasing a new mob, at least one new mob per drop, right, then we can definitely guess of a new mob, something to do with spring, flowers, yada yada. Oh shoot. You know what'd be insane though? They'd be like, what if they gave us the Moo Bloom, you know? But that would open a lot of can of worms. That will open Pandora's box of people's guesses like, oh, are all of the stuff going to be implemented then? Are all of the mob votes and laws going to be implemented, you know? Which I don't know if Mojang actually wants that kind of like that kind of guessing anymore, because I think it could get pretty toxic if they don't add it after all that, right? But I'm thinking at least a mob. It has flowers with the emoji hints, right? So something to do with flowers, more gardens maybe, and opposite to the Pale Garden. That would be interesting. Like, what could it even be? If they made another Dark Oak variant. And I don't think people should be like too adverse to making more variants of existing biomes. Because we literally have like great biomes like the old growth pine taigas or something like that, right? Like they're definitely different. They got podzol on the ground, they've got big old trees and all that stuff, right? So it's like, even if it's just one biome, it adds a lot, I think. So even if they do add a springy biome, a very different variant of the Pale Garden, yada yada, whatever it's gonna be, I think that'll be fine. And also, if they're doing one new mob, or if they're gonna commit to a new mob every drop, you know, that we have another mob to play around with. Spring, I have no idea what they're gonna do for spring, right? And even the winter drop, right? It wasn't really wintry. It was more like a late Halloween drop, right? The creaking would have been perfect if it launched on Halloween, right? But it is what it is. And also, maybe they shouldn't be tied to releasing like seasonal updates based on whatever the season is. Like, if they can make something scary. Oh, I messed up again. I keep doing this. If they make something like, they shouldn't be limited to making only scary things at the end of the year. But at the same time, it could give people a case in what to expect, right? Like, if they release something around whatever seems to be available during the second half of the year, right? Like we have like even though the creaking was released late in way past Halloween, right? It was still technically, Halloween was still technically in the middle of the latter half of the year, right? So it's kind of like maybe they should theme it around some events that happen around the years, right? Around that part of the year. And since drops will come more frequently, maybe we should expect like 3 drops per year. They could do 4, you know, like 3 months of work for 4 updates. For every update 4 times per year. That is including like summer and winter break. I mean, we really don't have summer and winter break for corporations, but you know what I mean. There could be some downtime. Yeah, I think that's very interesting if we can get that happening, right? What would a spring update be? I think a lot of people have guessed seasons, but I really highly doubt that they'd put seasons in the game. Just because it's very... It'd have to overhaul a lot of stuff, in my opinion. Make sure it doesn't, like, very negatively affect other world mechanics, right? Like, let's say you don't even want your place to be snowy, right? But that's not possible if everything is affected by seasons. Like, you want to keep something, like, pristine, unchanging, right? And the seasons are not going to be, like, just a random weather event like rain or lightning, right? Because that rain or lightning barely affects a world compared to maybe 12 days of one season, you know? 12 in-game days of one season. So, they definitely can't make a huge overhaul like that, especially in just one drop. Okay, I will say, yeah, maybe they can. Maybe they can, but it'd have to be worked on through multiple drops, not just one, you know? Also might be better to think of drops as being worked on past multiple drops, right? Because I think they're going towards a more like... I don't know how to really describe it, but like... a gacha-like scenario? I know that's like a horrible way to form it, but like... gacha being frequent updates all the time. So... we could be seeing that route, you know, play out. That kind of new thing where it's not like a whole update is being focused. You don't get a Caves and Cliffs Part 3 again, you know. Like everything is very predictable. They can set more what is it called? More realistic expectations, and that's mostly because before they're thinking like they could probably do this within a year, but now they're thinking in much smaller time frames, right? Like, can we actually get this done in like 3 months or whatnot, right? How's the advertising going for this item or this thing, right? How long will it take to make animations for the next mob, you know? What about the mechanics? How does it work with every other Minecraft mechanic, right? And a lot of the things that they're working on in the background that's a lot of times overlooked is how they made things a lot more customizable, right? Like, most things are now data-driven. It's not like hard-coded into the game, which I'm not sure. You might not think it's a good thing, but in terms of modders' perspectives, it's good in that case, because they can just make data packs to control whatever they want, instead of having to write for a different system like Fabric, right? But at the same time, there's also the point where this might not be great for modders as well, just because if they update so frequently and adding so many new things so frequently, that means every time they add a new thing, they release an update, modders always have to play catch up instead of having to play catch up with only one update within the year, right? So there's a downside to being faster and frequent with more releases, but I think overall more frequent releases benefit Mojang just because they're able to what is it called? Set more realistic expectations than just promising like the whole caves and cliffs ordeal, right? Like that took a couple years, definitely was worth it, right? But it wasn't like what it was. It definitely would not have turned out well if they actually rushed it all within the 1 year it was announced, right? So what we got instead, they're not able to make very overbearing promises anymore, especially since they know how the Minecraft community reacts to it, right? But now they also have a way to realistically set expectations for themselves in terms of development time, at the expense of maybe the modders' capability to catch up, right? Man, it's kind of it's quite interesting how they might be doing this stuff as well. Because let's say we do get a new biome for the spring update, right? We just got the creaking, right? And what's more important for builders is the pale wood. That's a white block. So they can actually add another colored wood block in the next update, right? Which can fulfill a lot of different roles now. So they come in here, they release a white wood block, and maybe they'll release a more gray or darker wood block, right? Maybe they'll release a green wood block. I don't know. So more frequent updates helps in that sense as well, since most players will be able to get those items really frequently instead of having to wait an entire year to get what was announced at Minecraft Live, which no longer exists, right? Which no longer exists in the format of mob votes and all that stuff, right? And since they don't do that anymore, one of the downsides is that the community doesn't get to choose, doesn't get as much input as before, right? However, it's probably for the best just because a lot of people misunderstood like Mojang's intentions with the mob votes and stuff like that, right? It's not that like they have everything ready and they're only choosing one to implement. It's more like these are all concepts we came up with. Maybe we'll work on them if you really want us to work on them, right? So the one you want the most, we'll work on. We can't work on every single thing at the same time because every update has other mobs and other stuff to consider, right? That's already planned. What you get is you get a choice into one item, one thing that we were thinking of working on, right? And some players don't listen at the same time because they also say that like mobs aren't forever like gone, right? A lot of their concepts can be reused in other concepts, in other mobs, right? Like it doesn't have to be a mob to get a to get good gameplay features out of, right? It's just that mobs are more, let's say, mobs are more I don't know how to put it. I think people really like mobs just because they are more personal, I guess. You can personify a mob better than you can personify, let's say, this mangrove wood, right? Like people will think, oh, mangrove wood exists in the game, but no, if there was a mangrove Trent or something, right? That something like that, right? Like a mangrove, like a pale mangrove. then and there was a mangrove creaking or whatnot, right? Like, I think people would attach that a lot more than just having mangrove wood in that, right? And I think people also don't realize there's a lot of incentive to actually building a mob too, because that's also marketable, right? For Minecraft, being able to sell like frog plushies, right? Or whatnot to kids. To kids who ask their parents very nicely that they want that thing, right? But being able to sell that kind of stuff is useful to them, right? Hold on. Okay, just need another drink there. But a mob is not just like a mob is not just like what people want in the game. It's also what Microsoft wants, probably. Mojang wants, because that's marketable. Like the creaking, maybe. There'll probably be a lot of creaking merch later on, right? Like, it's like inevitable, I think. There's gonna be so many creakings, right? And just the effort they put into one mob, like the creaking, is effort that can be spent getting a lot more money from kids. From kids' parents, right? So I think that's one of the reasons why these drops usually just feature one mob, or at least one mob, right? Because when we got the armadillos and the wolf armor, they can now sell the armadillo plushies or whatnot, right? And then they can sell some creaking stuff as well. Although, one thing that I never really see in store is like a wither plushie. I'm not sure how many people would actually want a creaking plushie. Maybe it's more like they'd be selling like creaking bed sheets or something. But the point is that mobs are infinitely like more marketable than just blocks in Minecraft, right? Like people might want to purchase like a crafty table, diamond block, but not many people are going to be purchasing it just because of that, you know. Just because they know what a diamond block is. They're more likely to just purchase something that they know about, like a creeper, right? Especially for their kids, because mainly kids like to hug stuffed animals and all that stuff, you know. I could take another example. How many people are going to just buy a dirt block, you know? It's not like a famous block like, you know, how Super Mario question block, right? People will buy that, you know, because that's basically one of the only blocks in the entire game that works as that works like that and is greatly understood by the general public, you know, to work like that. But Minecraft has so many blocks that it'd probably be impossible to make a lot of merch for this stuff. And it's probably why they partnered up with Lego in the first place to make their Minecraft building sets, right? Because people know what Minecraft blocks are, but people aren't going to buy Minecraft blocks by themselves. They're probably most likely going to buy something that they can build using blocks that they know of, right? So Lego was probably the best option for that, right? But at the same time, you're probably not going to see a creaking, a pale garden Minecraft set, a Minecraft Lego set anytime soon, right? It could be in production, it could be in the works, right? But it's probably not going to happen very soon, right? Look at this, man. Got this finished in, what is it? 2 hours, 40 minutes? But yeah. Mobs are very... have much more weight to them than a lot of people might consider. Also, I had this here. I totally forgot. Rip. Where did I put that? Mangrove. I guess I'll put it all here. Dun dun dun. But yeah, I have no idea what to really do for these hallways. Although I could just copy this, like, section all the way here, right? I mean, it is already kind of copied all the way. I just need to do the ceilings, the roofs. And, did I already do all the arches? Yeah, I did, okay. So, a lot of it is already kind of done. This one just needs its lights and all that stuff, right? So we can do that, actually. I think that'd be another thing that we could work on right now. But yeah, if any other topics, let me know. It's just like I'm just ranting on my own. What did I do with the this here? I don't have any tiles, right? Yeah, so no tiles. Also, I don't need any more black stone at the moment. Though I might need to farm some up later. I don't know. It seems like I'm running out. We got chisel deep slate. We got deep slate bricks. We don't need all this deep slate slabs right now, although they will be used sooner or later. Okay. I'm gonna need iron bars and I'm gonna need shroom lights, right? Wait, how many shroom lights? Okay, there's a magma block in the middle. Where are my magma blocks? I also don't know what other kind of like what other kinds of like farms that we didn't put here, right? I mean, we could actually lay them out right now, right? Like I can move this whole thing. It's not a pain to build, right? Where are my signs? I need my signs. A lot of hanging signs there. Okay, there's a lot of warp signs here. We can probably use those. But we can do something like sugar cane here, right? Cactus. They're all going to be like mini farms, you know? Actually, maybe we'll do like kelp here. That could be very I mean, we can make it automatic as well, right? We can make it automatic like this. Bamboo farm converter, you know? Kelp. Bamboo. We don't have to make it like this automatic, because these things could grow on their own, right? This could be like automatic in terms of like not forcing the issue. But this also is a converter. A crafter right there. Maybe on the other side we have cactus. What else? What else can I grow? I could definitely grow 2 tall flowers, but we can probably put 2 tall flowers here. 2 tall. Actually, we don't need to call them 2 tall. They're just called tall flowers, right? Tall flowers. Do that. What else is farmable that's easy, that's plant-like, maybe? I mean, we have this. I can't really move it, right? I can make another thing here that makes it so that I mean, I'm getting both at the moment, right? I'm getting both Crimson and Allium stuff from that one. Crimson and Allium, Crimson and Warped. So that's not too big of a deal. This thing can definitely be moved. This whole thing, we've got the tree farm. I mean, I can actually move this. Should there be a collection system somewhere? For the... I mean, there's a collection system down there, but that's only for, like, sorting. I'm still gonna go down there to sort stuff, right? Because that's not too big of a deal. Right? So I'm gonna go down here to sort items and grab them. Do I want to be down here all the time though? Or should I be like, they're gonna be sorted here, but then I'll make them go to another stream that goes to an actual sorting area here. Or maybe I should just send all the sorting stuff, all the stuff that is sorted and not gonna be recycled in this system, all the way to the storage system. Maybe. But then there's also, I don't know what other farms I could make or should make. We could definitely put a bee farm around here too, since I took care of my other bee farm. But the other bee farm's at my witch farm, so I'm not sure why I would make another bee farm here. I'm really not sure about how I want to make this corridor here. These ones are kind of iffy. I don't know what else I really want to deal with them. Maybe this could be, maybe the farms could be here, right? Maybe that farms could be here, but I'll store everything in this area here. And I could definitely move this back so it's not like in the way here. So storage for the small farms, maybe. So you can see the farms in action here, but you won't be able to access them. You have to be able to get to them here. Although maybe I shouldn't do that as well. Maybe they all should just go to the storage system, right? Instead of having a mini storage system here. That means I should try to find another farm to build here. So we have the tree farm here. We have the crafter. And although maybe we don't even need the crafter here, maybe we can just craft them into stuff down below, right? And then send them off to the storage system, right? Like, you don't even have to see the crafter in action. Okay, maybe we could make like let's put bamboo over here. And maybe we'll do mushrooms. Just small mushrooms. That could be interesting, right? I could also put villagers here. Like this area, I can't really do anything about, right? So might as well just close it off. But if I'm working here all the time, I don't think the villagers will be in the greatest places. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to reach this area well if I'm over here. Maybe that's not really necessary. I could put the villagers here anyway. Although, can I even go that far with this one? No, I can't. Okay, this one's already full. This one's already full of stuff, I guess. But what's more important? Although we could actually make a villager trading hall here as well, right? Like, we could make one of these the villager trading areas, right? Yeah, I could make this hallway maybe villager trading, right? Right? If I make this villager trading, I can make this villager farming, right? We can make villager farms here. Villager breeding, villager farms. Okay, this is a little bit too removed. Maybe I'll move it all the way over here so that I know what maybe could be here. Villager breeding, farming. Villager trading? Thing is, I don't really want to do villager trading. Just because I could just buy stuff all the way over there. I don't know. Should we even do villager trading? Maybe we should just do villager breeding and farming in this area. I still don't know what to do with this area then. Besides, like, you know, finishing up the roof and all the other stuff, right? So yeah. And I don't think I should even place any of this shroomlight stuff down yet. It's not really necessary at the moment. Not really that much room either. Okay. Let's see. Guess we don't need these signs anymore. I have one sign. Let's just use a one sign. I think villager breeding and farming is okay. So I could just get lots of potatoes and carrots and beets all the time, right? Around here. Same with like cactus and carrots, cactus and sugarcane, kelp. I know I have a kelp farm. But, you know, it's okay. We can have it like that. We can have another one. It's not going to be even that big, you know? And then what else? And we're going to definitely do something like... I also have to move the beacons. I forgot. Well, I guess this place is still like a work in progress, you know. Still very much a work in progress. I really don't know what else I should do, but I think this is going to be it for the stream, though. It's almost been 3 hours. So, I gotta do something else. But we finished this, you know, that's actually pretty good, right? Not bad at all. I just need to get all the items in so that I'm able to actually sort them out properly. So I'm not always here, like, you know, fumbling. Okay, well, what do I want? What do I need? You know. Okay, and then if I put the items above here. Oh, there's also... I did not see that. These are also facing the different way. Very interestingly. Honestly, I think we can omit that. I think we can omit that. That's not... That's not too... Like, that's not too important. We don't need these. No one's gonna see it anyway. Except for me. Just now. But, you know. Although maybe they weren't, like, maybe they're just, like, just there. I don't know how to explain it. They were just there when I was testing everything out, but everything seems to be fine if I'm doing it like this. And obviously I could add more detail, but I don't want to. So now we can go ahead and get everything sorted out here, right? But that's going to be all the time that I want to use today on this endeavor here, right? I know I don't need any more of this. But yeah. Hopefully you all get a very... Actually... It's only about like 10 days to Christmas, a week till Christmas, but you know, about a week till Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, all that stuff, happy Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, another thing that you could do, another thing I will say is happy holidays, you know. I'm not sure if I'll do another stream soon on this, because I really have nothing else to talk about or do that's not already been outlined in this stream. So all I really have to do is finish all that, all the roofing and all that stuff. But yeah, for a final thing, let's look at it in shaders. Merry Christmas. Okay, this is kind of interesting, isn't it? Since we got the colored lighting, the blue and the red and the orange and the purple. It's really a mismatch of lights here. I wonder how it will look once I actually do fill in the blocks at the top here. But in any case, that's going to be the end of this stream. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. We finished the tunnel in 3 hours. Not bad. And I think I think this is actually one of the shorter tunnels. But 3 hours is still not bad for a short tunnel. I might be running out of blackstone soon, but that's okay. We might have enough. We might have enough blackstone. Anyway, looking forward to 1.21.4. Seeing those snapshots appear, you know, soon, maybe. Usually snapshots appear early in January, so, you know, we'll see those coming out soon, maybe. And hopefully, see you again next time. Bye-bye.